And for those who will watch this later, thank you for taking the time out. You could be anywhere else, but you chose to be here, so we appreciate that. All right, so we are going to move right along to our next speaker, beautiful sister who is into health and wholeness all around, holistic wholeness and holistic health. And we are going to hear from Sister Angelica. So, so I believe she had hopped off for a second, but we have something for you all, so stay tuned.
Assalamu alaikum, family, peace, healing, and light. I pray you guys are having a great day. I pray you guys are enjoying the seminar so far. I just want to introduce myself and just give you a little background of who I am, how I got started on my journey, and what I do on top of some takeaways. So, my name is Angelica X. I am the founder of Healing with Angelica. Healing with Angelica also has a podcast. So I have Healing with Angelica podcast that I have been doing now for 2 years. Oh my God, I can't believe it's been that long. But I've been doing the podcast now for 2 years. I am also broadcasting on one of the best broadcasts in the nation, Closing the Gap Broadcast Nation. So you guys can also see my program on Closing the Gap broadcast as well. I also have Healing Tribe merchandise that's also included with Healing with Angelica brand in general. And also I do one-on-one consultation calls for those who are ready to start their healing journey. So before I get more in depth about what I do, I would like to just let you guys know just a little bit more about myself and how I even got it started on this journey, right? There's always a background story on how you got started. Like, where did this come from, right? So, back in 2019, my journey began. It began with me wanting to start women empowerment events. I did my first women empowerment event the beginning of 2020. However, after that time, I ended up getting pregnant, and a lot of things happened in that time, and life was lifing it. At the time, I was not in the Nation of Islam. I didn't join the Nation of Islam until 2022, so we're going on a year and a half now. However, I was introduced to the teachings at that time, so I knew about the teachings and the minister, but wasn't actively involved in it. So going into 2020, oh my gosh, like I said, life was lifing, and it was a lot to where it took me to a place of wanting to completely submit myself to Allah. I went through a lot of stuff mentally, physically, emotionally as I was going through the pregnancy, reminding myself of how I did lose a child back in 2016. I had a stillbirth and didn't get pregnant ever again ever since I got pregnant in 2020. 20. So didn't know I was still holding on to trauma and things in that aspect with that pregnancy. So it carried over to my pregnancy with my son now. And within that, it was times where I had to depend on Allah, and I really gave my trust to Him. And that's what really, really started my journey as far as self-discovery, knowing who I am and getting to understand who I am, right? So, fast forwarding, I end up having a health issue after having my son. I had a thyroid problem. It was hyperthyroid, so I was losing weight. I was already small and tiny, so losing that amount of weight was very, very unhealthy. On top of me just having a new baby. So life was really lifing, but it took me to a point to where I really wanted to self-heal myself, because they were talking about putting me on medicines for the rest of my life, and I just was not doing it, you guys. Just no. So I went on this journey of self-healing, changing my diet. Big shout out to Dr. Akili Muhammad, who started me on my healing journey, get me onto how to eat to live. And within a few months, I ended up self-correcting my thyroid issue with just changing my diet and also having that faith that I knew that I was going to be healed and Allah was going to heal me through that time. So with all of that in one, that made me want to tell my story. That made me want to engage with other people that are on a healing journey as well. So that made me think about, hey, let's start a podcast. At this time, people are really into podcasts since the pandemic. People are all on the internet. Let's do a podcast, right? So with all of that, that is what inspired me to start Healing with Angelica. At first it was Healing with Angelica Waters podcast, but I ended up receiving my ex October 2nd of 2022. So I just changed it to Healing with Angelica, and the rest is history. However, it's been such a beautiful journey. Within that, being able to interview people, being able to embark on a healing journey with others, I was able to build connections to where I wanted to start doing one-on-one consultations to help people who are ready to start their healing journey but don't know where to start, because that was the issue with me. I wanted to start healing but didn't know exactly